Good morning, everybody. I'm Reg Aiden. This is my wife, Aiden, and we are the parents of Daniel, and are here today to thank you for your support for St.Amant. Yeah. Our 27-year-old Daniel and we as family have benefited from many programs over the years that have been provided by St.Amant. In early days, he was privileged to attend some summer programs during the breaks in his elementary school years. He's been availed of speech therapy, occupational and physiotherapy as well. During a couple of times when we were in a family crisis, things were just becoming too much. Urgent respite care was arranged for as much as 3 weeks at a time to allow us to regroup and regain our strength. And now, for the last year and a half or so, Daniel's been part of the regular respite program that schedules about 4 to 6 days, nominally every month, to give us a regular break, which has been terrific. It's a wonderful program. It was mentioned in the video as well. And in the very near future, Daniel will be moving into the St.Amant Community Residential Home, which we have some photos of in our presentation.
Daniel was born on August the 17th, 1988, exactly 5 years and 1 day after his older brother. He was 9 pounds, 8 ounces, and 21 inches long, and was clearly the biggest baby in the nursery. We started to notice in his high chair that when he was about 18 months old, that his head would drop. He would pick it back up again, and it would drop again. We checked with our doctor, of course, and he said to monitor it and get back to him. Turns out that was the very beginning of his seizures, the first-day kinetic seizures. The following spring, while playing with his cousin Laura outside, he had his first convulsive seizure. That was the first of many, many trips to the hospital. I quit my management job at Bretton's and stayed at home with Dan. Things went from bad to worse. He developed grand mal seizures and absent seizures, and if that wasn't scary enough, by late summer he had had his first prolonged seizure. We were on our way back from Victoria Beach, and roundabout Birds Hill, we noticed he started to seizure. It took Reg 15 minutes to drive from the Birds Hill to the health sciences, including, I think, a sidewalk. The seizure itself lasted 50 minutes. They gave him enough medicine to knock someone Reg's size out, and he was barely 2. He stopped breathing and had to spend the night in the ICU. We suspect this is probably when most of the brain damage happened. Prolonged seizures were followed by multiple seizures. I kept a diary of every one, how long and the type, and we moved the baby monitor back into our room. From that point forward, and for the next 10 to 12 years, we did not journey further than 15 minutes away from the Health Sciences Center. Holidays were in the backyard. We brought in an oxygen tank, and we bought an ambu bag. There were years and years of EEGs, and we tried every anticonvulsant on the market. We even tried the ketogenic diet twice. We had some limited success, but the small seizures were allowed to bleed through because we could not find the right combination. To complicate things a little bit worse, Danny started waking up at night anywhere up to 10 times. I would take the first 5, and then Reg would help me out after that. That lasted about 4.5 years.
After much trial and error, prolonged seizures abated, and we were able to take Daniel further afield. Here he is enjoying a game of horseshoes with Uncle Lothar out at their cottage. Something smells good. Time to wash up for lunchtime. Then, to add to his challenges, Daniel developed scoliosis. It seemed like it might stabilize after a few years, but by age 16, it progressed very quickly. Daniel is not deliberately tilting his shoulders in this image. That's actually the stance he had naturally. His surgeon now recommended an operation to correct the scoliosis before his lungs and other organs, like his heart, had started to compress. These compelling x-rays show the dramatic S-curve of Daniel's spine before and how much straighter it was after surgery. We were amazed at the skill and quiet confidence of the surgeon, Dr. Michael Johnson.
Gratefully, he recovered quickly.
And he could walk quite well. Yeah, you like those, huh, Dan? Yeah. So Daniel loved to go to the airport and hang out and watch the water bombers when they're being prepared for the seasonal activities. And he could walk quite well after a year of surgery. We would often spend a couple of hours on a Saturday morning with a snack from Tim's watching airplanes. But then, within about 2 years, Daniel really couldn't walk more than a few steps without assistance. And this was likely due to the cocktail of anticonvulsants he'd been taking for so many years.
But he loves a good party.
Yeah.
He does.
Yes.
School was largely in a wheelchair now. Any outings outside of the city were also in a wheelchair. I was required to follow in my car behind the school bus and carry an oxygen tank in case there was an emergency.
So even though Daniel could not walk, he could pedal. And after we trialed a tandem trike, we decided a single was the way to go. So I didn't have to do all the pedaling, all the work. And so on his 18th birthday, family and friends contributed to a spiffy new safe trike, a special needs trike for Daniel. It was a great party. He uses this trike around the neighborhood, and although he cannot walk, as folks here will testify, his legs are very strong. He can really push, including some autumn moonlight rides. He also uses the trike out at the family cottage and relaxes afterwards with babcha and a cool one. Yeah.
Danny attended Montessori, Lord Roberts, and Churchill. He enjoyed the program, but he really loved the hat.
And speaking of hats, he came to really like, after the mortarboard for grad, he liked all kinds of special hats, including this fantastic Al Simmons creation.
Our neurologist suggested that we try something called a VNS, which is a vagus nerve stimulator. It's implanted into his chest with a wire that goes up the vagus nerve and winds around the nerve itself. The nerve continues on into the brain. This was done in the hopes that we could have a little bit better seizure control and give us a little bit more comfort leaving the city for slightly longer periods of time.
And so here he is with Uncle Lothar, who's also here this morning with his Aunt Elfrida, enjoying a game of tossing something into a bucket, which went on for about half an hour. And then he could enjoy some fresh raspberries right off the bushes. They were just so good. For many years, Daniel's older brother Matthew sacrificed hours and days looking after Daniel, helping us in so many great ways. But about a year and a half ago, Matthew moved to Jasper, Alberta. And with Matthew gone, we were saved, I would say, by the St.Amant respite program, because that gives us the regular breaks that Matthew was providing for us for all those years. So that's just been great.
With Matthew gone, we spent more and more time at home, with the exception of the breaks here at St.Amant. That gave us a chance to train a new puppy, Murphy, and Danny loves a party and therefore candles. In the last 6 weeks or so, we have replaced the original VNS that was implanted in Danny's chest with a new one. That you can see on the model on the right. And in the last, say, 4 years or so, he has developed a new seizure type called a myoclonic jerk. And we've added a new medication to that to help control that one as well. So
now, this is what we talked about. The next big, wonderful benefit. This is the St.Amant community residence that's just been finished. We had a tour of it just this last week. And I can tell you it's fantastic. And this is just a quick peek inside. The room that's blue is Daniel's, and the whole interior, the walls and ceilings are all painted blue, and they will be a canvas for replicating his bedroom at home here, which was painted by his cousin Carla. You like that, huh? And she'll use a similar motif in his new blue bedroom in his St.Amant home. So at this point, we've been talking a lot, but words do seem inadequate. But we do want you to know that St.Amant has helped our family endure and is the best it's the best possible organization in which Daniel can live his life, knowing that we have become less able and ultimately will be gone. St.Amant and all you wonderful donors have made that more possible than we as parents ever dreamed. Our hope has become reality. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reg Aiden, and Danny as well. Thanks for sharing your story. Danny is so lucky to have such a big family and a loving family. And St.Amant's blessed to be part of this family. And just so you know, you guys are all part of the family as well.